Farm to store in days, not weeks. That's 80 Acres Farms. Did you know that most salad travels over 2,000 miles to reach your plate? But not 80 Acres Farms. Their crisp salad greens and herbs are food less traveled. This means it stays fresher for longer in your fridge. My salad lasts all week long. No more food waste. Oh, and did I mention there's no need to wash this produce? Because 80 Acres Farms uses zero pesticides. Visit 80acresfarms.com to learn more and find their salads and herbs at your local Kroger. From farm to your Atlanta store in days, not weeks. That's 80 Acres Farms. Did you know that most salad travels over 2,000 miles to reach your plate? But not 80 Acres Farms. Their crisp salad greens and herbs are food less traveled. This means it stays fresher for longer in your fridge. My salad lasts all week long. No more food waste. Oh, and did I mention there's no need to wash this produce? Because 80 Acres Farms uses zero pesticides. Visit 80acresfarms.com to learn more and find their salads and herbs at your local Kroger.
What up?
Hello, hello, hello. What's going on in California?
Oh, surplus of $90 billion because they overtaxed us. And it's going to be about 90 degrees out today. And I hear $90 in my wallet.
I hear they're rationing water right now, and if you have a baby, your baby is gonna die because it has no baby formula.
And it's Friday the 13th.
Tales from the cheap. Oh my goodness!
Where's that one? Here it is.
From the cheap.
That's my sound effect that I stole today. So happy Friday the 13th.
Hello, everybody. Yes, happy Friday the 13th. By the way, does anyone care? Does anyone care about Friday the 13th? Remember, it used to be kind of a bigger deal, like when we had less to worry about in the world, I think, and people would obsess over that. But now they're like, there's a deadly pandemic and recession and things blowing up and Russia invading. It's like Friday the 13th. I don't really care. No one cares.
Yeah, I haven't seen a whole bunch of stuff online about it at all, but I like it because every so often my birthday lands on Friday the 13th. And I dress up in, goth, and I run around the town and I yell, "The British are coming!"
I've never heard you do that.
I just made it all up. What's up?
Hey, man, I am doing
California sucks.
Yeah, I know. It's hot out here, but it doesn't suck out here. Like it's been really freaking warm, and it's like when you look at the forecast and like the 10-day forecast or 12-day whatever, it's the exact same. It's like they copy and pasted every single day because it's just 94, 94, 93, 95, 94. It's like, did you just hit copy and paste? You're getting lazy.
Right? He's
You're
like,
supposed to mix up the weather.
It's on auto reply right now. It's just like
God's on vacation. Yeah, and it's on auto reply. If you sent a prayer request about the weather, it will remain unchanged for the next 2 weeks.
Him and Mother Earth are out knocking boots. Other times trying to find them.
So at our house, we had a water issue.
Yeah, I heard your wife's water broke or something.
Yeah, exactly. Don't. I'm leaving right now. I am literally going to drive a car off a cliff if my wife's water ever breaks again. No, we, there was a lot of rainstorms, and you know how you see after a rainstorm, you see like pools of water, like you just see water out in your yard or whatever, right? Yeah. You see remnants. But it was one of those, like, we had like 3 or 4 days of rain where it kind of rained a little bit each day. And we see like little puddles. And you're like, oh, no big deal. And then like a day or two went by and a couple of areas still had puddles. I'm like, huh.
On your yard or where?
No, in the back patio. In the back patio. Kind of near the pool.
That wasn't just your pool?
No, that's the thing. We were thinking like, well, this can't be the pool. And then
pool's trying to grow. Like,
yeah,
I want to be out of this.
And it's like, there hasn't been rain for a couple of days. Like, why? And then I thought, you know what? It's the sprinkler. The sprinkler is spraying, and sometimes, you know how sprinklers are. They start shooting off in wild and crazy ways, and so that's what I thought it was.
Oh wow!
And then we started investigating.
Day 4, day 5.
Yeah, exactly. Day 4. We decided to investigate more, and we touched the water, and the water is warm.
Did it touch back?
And it did. It said, "Get out." We touched the water and the water's warm. Like, and I don't mean like warm from the sun. I mean, the water is hot. Like
Oh,
from the
shit.
hot. Yeah, it's hot water. We're like, this is not normal. And then we go into the garage and investigate. We're looking in like a corner of the garage.
There's a geyser under your house?
That's what it looked like because there was water everywhere and not a drop to drink. There was water everywhere,
Wow,
and everywhere we touched it was warm. And because it was really hot outside, plus the hot water, plus being in a garage where it's just, sealed up and whatever, mold everywhere, like just mold everywhere. And it was just because it's hot and steamy and whatever. So there's cracks. Yeah, baby. So there were cracks in the pavement, but when we first moved in, but they were really small cracks. And now I'm looking at these cracks, and they were a little bigger. Like they were.
Sorry, I'm.
Yeah, they were pretty big cracks, and
showing everybody your big crack now.
Yeah, and I'm watching. I could see it bubbling. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? And so I get out the shop vac, and I'm vacuuming up the water, like just trying to go, okay, let's see what happens when I clear up. And as soon as I vacuum a spot, the water comes up through the crack and fills everything back up. And I'm like, oh no, this is not good. So
now, do you have a basement?
No, we do not.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we do, but I can't admit to it because that's where we keep the people, like in that one Asian movie from like 2 years ago, Parasite.
Yeah, Parasite.
Yeah. We actually keep an entire staff back down there.
Damn it. I wanted to visit them.
I know. Well, I didn't want you to go down there. You'd get trapped down there and they'd hold you down there. So yeah, we get a plumber out and he looks at, he goes, so the pipes that run to and from your hot water heater, not like above the ground, but like in your slab, in the slab is broken. And he goes, I need to get a jackhammer in here and I need to start cutting up all of this concrete. And I need to get to where this leak is. He goes, because depending on how bad it is, if this gets underneath your house, it creates like a sinkhole. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. You are gonna have a geyser under your house, but it's gonna be your house gone. It's just gonna be a big hole.
Yeah, it was. When he said that, I was like, oh shit! like it went from being a minor annoyance to that's not good.
That's a big deal.
That's a big deal. So they get there, they jackhammer up the thing, and we got really lucky. The first spot that he picked.
Was
the
it
jackhammer happened to be it? Like, and dude, it was like he was telling me he was gonna have to cut up like 6 feet by 6 foot chunk.
The first place he picked to jackhammer your crack was perfect.
Yes, my crack was perfect. He just kept jackhammering in, and he was really pounding my crack with that jackhammer, and it was just boom, 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 and then just explosion of liquid just right out of my crack.
Is your wife jealous?
She was watching the whole time and taking video.
Find on his OnlyFans right now, Eric.
That's how I'm paying for this. Is it's on my OnlyFans. So yeah, no, he ripped up about the size of like I don't know, like a picture frame, like a good sized picture frame or like a poster. He got it. And it was funny. It was a really small leak, but he goes, hey man, these small leaks, they just if you don't catch them right away, they're super big trouble. And so the fix happened real quick. We are still having those gigantic fans and dehumidifiers out there because the restoration crew had to rip out the sheetrock and the insulation and everything in that little area. And so insurance isn't going to cover it all because insurance doesn't cover slab leaks. And so I'm paying for it. And so the guy from the restoration goes, hey man, this is going to start to get really expensive. He goes, my advice to you, he goes, I'd repair everything yourself. Yeah, exactly. Shoot me in the face. He said to repair everything myself. He goes, go get some sheetrock from the store and some insulation and go buy yourself a nail gun. And I said, I'm not allowed to own a nail gun by law because
that's only in California, idiot.
Oh, that's a good point. I'm in Texas now, baby. Yeehaw.
You can own like people there. I think.
I was banned from a lot of things in California. Thank God your records don't follow you. Like I can now actually eat at a Taco Bell, banned from Taco Bells in California. But anyways,
wiener schnitzels.
Well, for the obvious reasons, I was showing them my schnitzel and my wiener. So yeah, I'm gonna attempt. And I'm not very handy, but I'm going to attempt to do the repair work myself.
Okay, so repair work as in he fixed the pipe.
The pipe is fixed. The cement is filled in back in where they dug it up, and the restoration crew has ripped out the walls, ripped out the insulation, and has all the fans running. In fact, as soon as we finish with this podcast, the guy's supposed to be coming by to pick up the last of his fans, and hopefully I will be done with that part of it. But I'm going to be paying all of this out of pocket.
He has people stand there and cheer him on at work all day long. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's like this. What does it sound like, Chris?
It sounds like. Okay, yeah.
I just wanted to throw it to you one more time on that one.
Didn't you like build shelves you were proud of?
Oh, they're super ugly. I'm proud of them because not because they're good shells. They're good for me.
Are
You know
they
what I mean?
even there
Like
anymore?
if you're grading on a curve. Yeah, I'm looking at them right now. They're actually
So you're in the garage right now recording.
no. Oh, those shelves. No, those other shelves.
Yeah,
God,
the
no,
ones in the garage.
I had help building those. I assisted in the building of
Well,
them.
no, it started and then you had to finish it because they left town, from what I
Yes,
understand.
that is a good point. Yes.
But are the
I did have
shelves
to
still
finish.
there? Did you lose them?
Oh no, those are good. Those I mean, there's water that has soaked the lower, 4 to 5 inches of the 2x4s.
You're used to that length.
Yeah. Oh man. Are you
So
kidding
is
me?
your
On
wife.
a good day. What am I taking?
Well, that
Energetics?
sucks, dude. Like, so you're gonna have to go in there and drywall it all, because that's really fucking hard. I don't like drywalling. It sucks.
Yeah, I'm going to, and I also have no idea what I'm doing. So it's going to be a fun. Remember that show I told you we should do, like for like the Discovery Channel? Eric f's shit up, and we just like blur out the cuss words.
We call it
And-
stool time.
That's good. I like that too. Where it's you're the host and you sit there on hidden camera mocking me as I try to build basic things, and then at the very end when I'm all done building it, we call in a professional who takes a look at my work, critiques the whole thing, and basically tells me how less of a man I am than he is. I think that's a great show.
I don't think that I should do all the insulting in private. I want you to hear it.
You'll be in an earpiece.
I want you to hear me talking shit to you while you're doing
Yeah,
things.
you stupid idiot.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
gonna load a 14 gauge nail into a 10 gauge.
Eric, you're not supposed to look down the barrel of the nail gun. That's to see if it's clogged. That's not what you're supposed to do.
You don't shoot it into your hand first to make sure it works, dude.
That's why I'm making stigmata jokes. I'm like, look, I'm like Jesus, and I'm shooting the nail through my hands. Yes.
And then the carpenter comes in and goes, "Yeah, you're nothing close to Jesus. He was a real carpenter."
It'll be like, do you remember the Simpsons episode where Homer was trying to build the brick oven pit in the backyard?
Yes.
And he's trying to follow the directions, but when it comes out, it's like this abstract piece of art. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be like Eric Leckie is going to build a birdhouse, but you're going to come out and it's going to be like, how did you build a bench? Like you built a chair. Like,
Why
how did
did
you get that from the birdcage thing? It's like, I don't know. I just,
Why are there still birds living in it too? What's weird? What the
you
hell's
put
going
no
on here?
hole in the bird thing. They're trapped inside.
Well, that sucks because that is expensive. And your insurance didn't cover it, which is
Well, it's because our deductible is pretty high. So like basically everything is going to come in only about $500 to $600 above the deductible. So I'm paying for virtually everything.
yeah, that's ridiculous. That's stupid. That sucks. But at least it wasn't when you were freezing, because you would have had like an ice ring in your garage.
Or ice expands. So all that water and then
Oh,
freezing, I
that
think
would've
that could have
broken.
also been really, really bad. So yeah.
Yeah, you guys
Or-
would be into a sinkhole.
Or how about the fact that in 3 weeks or whatever, we're going on a trip and we're going to be
Ooh.
gone for like 5 or 6
In your
days.
favorite rocket ship?
Yes, flying through the skies.
Oh,
Little
awesome. I
Einsteins.
love Little Einstein.
Yeah, so imagine if
going?
that would have happened like when you're on vacation. Because I'm poor and I don't spend money on vacations.
Going to Austin. Awesome.
No, we're going to Missouri into the Ozark
What?
Mountains.
You're going to Missouri.
Yeah, we're
You're
gonna
only
go
going
into-
there because you watched the show.
We watched Ozark and I'm like, I really want to get into the drug cartel business. So I'm going there to try and apply for a new job.
Yeah, and then your wife will strip at that strip club.
Yeah.
Just with
That's
your
the-
daughters.
That's the goal.
Well, I
That's
mean,
what
if you're
every
that
father
family-
dreams of.
If you're
That's-
that family, you have what, two single wide trailers and a shed to sleep in?
Yeah.
that show is awesome. That show is really dope, actually.
So before we get too deep
Okay.
into this episode, because we're on a
Yes.
time limit here,
Here we
I want
are.
you to
Hurry up.
play the Hollywood song. So let's go to Hollywood.
Hold on one
I
second.
knew it. I knew you would be ready.
You interrupted. Shut up.
Okay.
You interrupted again.
Hooray for Hollywood! It's really got me. Hooray! 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 Hooray for Hollywood!
All right.
Fun.
Doctor Strange sucked. Okay, that's the end of the segment. No, I'm just kidding. So I want to talk to you about Doctor Strange. Part 2, the multiverse of madness in Michigan and Minnesota, and sometimes the movie Maleficent.
On a mountain somewhere.
On a mountain
too.
somewhere.
It's middle of nowhere that nobody knows about.
So here is my thoughts on it, because I assume you saw it too, right? I mean, I'm going out on a limb here. I feel like you saw it, right?
Yeah, I told you last show I was watching on Saturday.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
So yeah,
funny
we saw it
because
on a Sunday.
I only went with my wife and my daughter because my son had COVID.
Boom.
So he hasn't seen it yet. So I still get to watch it a second time, which I don't know if I want to.
Okay. So here is my thoughts on it. And honestly, it wasn't a bad movie. I was just really kind of shitting you, but our concern,
visually stunning. It was
oh,
great
yeah,
to look
visually
at.
it's beautiful. But here is we all had the same concern when Disney took over Star Wars and Marvel, and we said the same thing. We said the good news is they're going to pump out way more content, and it's going to be awesome because we're going to get some really cool shit. The bad news is they're going to pump out way too much content, and it's bound to not be as good. It's bound to be a derivative of itself. It's bound to be watered down. And I think we've finally reached that with at least this storyline. I really feel that when it comes to the Marvel universe, we need to hit the reset button, just like they've done with Spider-Man a million times, where there's been 87 different Spider-Mans, and they tell or Batman's, where it's like, oh, let me guess, you're going to tell the story of how his parents died and he's revenging them and he likes bats. Like,
avenging
them. So I just think we're at a point where it's like, guess what, guys? Hit the reset button. It's time to kill this cash cow. And I know they never will because it'll make $1 billion. But
after watching it, though, I have to say, I think it was a goodbye to Scarlet Witch. I think it was her last show. I think it was her getting written off the show. Now she's been in what, 4 movies?
Yeah, 4 movies and a
TV show. Yeah, and they said there's probably no solo Scarlet Witch movie in the works because that was a solo Scarlet Witch movie.
It really kind of was. Right. It was called Doctor Strange, but in a way it was like Doctor Strange ... Scarlet Witch is really what it was.
No, it should have been Doctor Strange, dead Doctor Strange with some skid marks in his hair, and Doctor Strange regular, and the Scarlet Witch fighting. Because you're right about visually is beautiful, but you kind of know that going in. I mean, that's Strange for sure.
Yeah, you know that. I just felt the storyline was kind of all over the place, and what I'm getting really tired of in these types of movies. And by the way, I'm all in because, like an idiot, the next Marvel movie they put out there, I'm going to go see it on day one, anyways. So I'm still the idiot that keeps paying, and I know you will too. But like, I'm still requesting that they either do a better job, or what I think they should actually do is cut back on the content. Just put out one really awesome movie a year and have it be that one thing, and maybe one good TV show a year, right? Like I'm super excited about some of the Disney Plus shows that they put out. We all like The Mandalorian, and we like some of the stuff they put out are really, really good. Yeah. But the more you do it, the more likely you are to screw it up. And I'm not saying this movie is screwed up. I'm just saying it kind of jumped the shark a little bit. It's gotten to the point where it's like, if anything happens that is hard to explain in a plot, they just literally say, oh, it's because of magic. Oh, like, why did this happen? Well, that's because of the 7 rings of Dumbledore with like Dumbo's feather and Leonard the Eye Nimoy of Sauron. I mean, like, Leonard Nimoy and the Vulcan death pinch. Like, it was like everything that happened was an excuse to just say, well, that's because of magic. And don't get me wrong, there were some cool scenes. There was some cool stuff in the movie. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it, but when I walk out of the theater and I go, all right, normally when we walk out of a theater, we're talking about the movie the whole drive home. Like, if it's me and my daughters or me and my wife, we're like, and then did you see when Spider-Man did this? That blew my mind. When all 3 Spider-Men went together, I wanted that to be its own series. Yeah, exactly. Well, when I was talking about by the way, I was talking about a much better movie, which was the Spider-Man movies.
No, I have to say, Doctor Strange, going into it, I didn't know what to expect. I kind of didn't know the bad guy. They thought they kind of set it up that Doctor Strange was the bad guy, and all this other stuff. But it really did turn into a Scarlet Witch movie. And is she really that interesting?
No.
Now, I watched the TV show. It was dope. The concept was cool. It introduced some cool characters, but it also made me pissed off that the movie didn't have, spoilers, Vision in it.
Right, which I thought for sure was going to happen. And some
or
sort of flashback scene or something. Yeah, I did too.
Or any of the Marvels, or they didn't even do the Kang. Kang didn't even come out from Loki. Like, isn't he the guy that's watching all the timelines and doesn't do it?
Well, and it doesn't do anything. Well, I also thought we would just actually see Loki. I mean, I
did too.
Yeah, I thought we would see Loki in there. But here's the thing: it's a fun movie. It's interesting, but when the whole drive home, we were talking about other things. We were like, so what's your schedule for tomorrow? Everyone have we weren't interested in discussing the movie or talking about the movie. And when I've talked to other people who have seen it, they're all the same thing. They're like, oh yeah, I went and saw it. It was fun.
Yeah,
And
no,
there's no more discussion beyond that. It's like, oh yeah, I went and saw it to see it, and now I'm done. You know,
my wife said the first thing about the movie after we got out of the theater, and it was, I didn't like it. I didn't like it, she said. And I'm like, you know what? I have to watch it again to give it my final judgment, but it wasn't that great. It wasn't fascinating. The storyline was just like you said, made up every time to make it look cool. I think this was the gateway drug for them to be able to bring back and play with any characters or any actors as any character ever. And that's what they're just going to keep doing.
And by the way, so just one plot I wanted to get your thoughts on, right? So in some movies, I actually like going back and doing this, especially with older movies, because there's like no technology in old movies. And you think to yourself, like, how would this movie be different if they had cell phones, or, you know, like where they could the movie would be 5 minutes long, because it's like the whole movie is them trying to find, you know, like I think about this all the time. So one thing I was thinking about with this movie, Scarlet Witch, for some reason, is so obsessed with her boys. Which, by the way, wouldn't she be obsessed with getting Vision back? Which that's a whole nother thing. Like right, you're so obsessed with this, the love of your life, you don't want him back. You don't go to any other universe to get him back, but you want your boys. Okay, fine, whatever. So you want your boys. When she comes and says, hey, this one girl, I need her because she's gonna help me get to my boys. Why is it Doctor Strange, who just met this girl 4.5 seconds ago, is like, no, I will defend this young lady with my life, even if it means hundreds of thousands of other people have to die defending her. This one child is going to live. And it's like, you know what I would have done? I would have been like, all right, Scarlet, you're pretty powerful. So if I fight you, you're pretty much going to kill everyone. I'd turn to the girl and I'd go, listen, it's a real bummer and I'm really sorry, but I'm going to have to hand you over to this lady who can destroy everything if she wanted to, because we just want her to go away, live in another dimension, and never bother us again. Like, I look at it as this entire movie could have been 15 minutes long, because I would have, if I was Doctor Strange, I would have been like, what happened to all his calculations he does in his head? Like, didn't he look and go, if I fight her, everyone I know is going to die, and it has the possibility of ruining many multiverses, or I could just give this dumb broad to the crazy psycho chick, and the movie's over 15 minutes in, roll credits.
Two things. One, it's a kid, that's why. Two, if I was America Chavez and you presented that to me that way, I probably would be convinced to go with her. You're like, it's shitty, but everybody else can die except for you, and you know, what do you want to do about it? I'd be like, okay, cool.
I just, you know what I wish? When I talk about resetting the universe and just kind of hitting the reset button, I think back to Iron Man. The first, think back to the first Iron Man.
Okay.
Minimal special effects, mostly like real world story. Like, you know, it's existing in like the real world. It's using special effects sporadically and they're really impactful when they get used. And there's, you know what I mean? Like, they need to get back to that storytelling. I want something to take place in a universe where it's not just them traveling through time and becoming paint blobs and becoming all this other stuff. Like, can you just tell a story that goes from A to B to C? And then, yeah, if some superhero elements happen and are sprinkled into it, that's fine. Yeah. But that's what I mean by resetting. Just go back to the original Iron Man, watch it again, and compare it to what you just saw in Doctor Strange.
Iron Man is a superhero movie. Doctor Strange is a movie about magic. Doctor Strange is more of a Harry Potter type movie in my mind, because anything and everything can happen. Doesn't really affect anybody else unless she kills him. But also, that was Disney crossing the line they said they never would, and went into like dark magic and stuff. So I think
also a very violent film too. Is
very dark.
Yeah, it's really dark and violent. The other one I wanted to know from a plot point is, where was the guy with the 5 rings?
Sleep with Elizabeth Olsen.
Yes, yeah.
Where's Shang-Chi?
Where's Shang-Chi?
Yeah.
Couldn't he have been a pretty big help at a certain point, especially when they were fighting in that one monastery thing? And like right there, like, hey dude, where are you at? Where's you and your rings?
Yeah, come on over here, ringy guy. Let's go. Bring on Aquanetta too. She's funny.
Exactly. No, I was
Aquafina, sorry.
You called her Aquanetta. Aquanetta, the hairspray. That's her cousin.
Aquafina's the water. That's right.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna go watch it again with my son, but I wasn't very impressed. I don't think my son's gonna be very impressed. So
it's also a difficult storyline to follow because of all the magic elements, because of the every
Different
5
people.
seconds they're in a different set, different time, different verse, different everything.
different version of themselves.
Different version of themselves. I did think the zombie the zombie one was kind of funny.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
I thought there were certain elements of this movie that were pretty funny. I thought some of the moments of him wanting to be back, like, hey, if I could live in an alternate universe to be with the woman I love, is it worth it? Like don't get me wrong, there was some substance here.
Yeah.
But they get too lost in the, you know what it reminds me of Jerry Bruckheimer movies, where most of the movie is pretty cool, and then all of a sudden Jerry Bruckheimer's like, it's been 10 minutes since something's exploded, so we got to put like 87 tons of TNT in this next scene. And it's like, Jerry Bruckheimer, stop, dude. It's okay. The movie's going just fine without it. And that's what this reminded me of. It was like they thought, we have to go bigger and grander and more CGI and more special effects. It's like, no, dude. What you actually need is the opposite. You need to you need to tone it down. Right now it's at 11. You need to go back to like a 5 and start all over again.
I get the storyline. They just threw America Chavez in there, which I'm thinking that's probably going to pop up in some Disney.
I have a feeling that's going to be a show. 100%. Yes.
But yeah, it was. I mean, it wasn't really a need. I mean, at this point, I should say it wasn't really a needed part of the story. Even the first Doctor Strange, if you watch it, it's just him becoming Doctor Strange. I mean, was it really needed for the story?
Well,
he became Doctor Strange and got a fucking stone that turned him back in time.
So
he lost.
Alfred Hitchcock invented a term called the MacGuffin. The MacGuffin, the MacGuffin in a film is that thing that everyone's going for, but really means absolutely nothing to the plot. Like what he means by that is you could change it to anything else and it doesn't change the story. Yeah. So with the girl in the story, America, you could have replaced that with the amulet of Osiris, and it gives you the power, or the special, the special scepter that allows you to transverse time at any one. You could have eliminated the character completely, replaced it by an object that glowed, and it would have been the same story. Because think about it. Then Doctor Strange would have been like, I can't give you this amulet of Osiris. It'll allow you to do too many things. And she's like, give it to me. And they spend the whole time running. That's the point. That's how all they're doing is trying to set this up for a Disney Plus show where she's going to just go through many multiverses and do a bunch of stuff. I guarantee you that's what this is setting up. I
think you just named every movie ever.
I did.
You did what you just said, like they get something and then they're done. Like they fight over an amulet. That's all they do. I'm like,
okay, like a perfect example.
Over plans.
Okay, exactly. But it's very common. That's why Alfred Hitchcock coined this term. It's the MacGuffin. But you could change it to anything. Like the famous movie Maltese Falcon. They're all trying to chase after this special bird. Guess what? Yeah. The bird could have been a bar of gold. The bird could have been a briefcase full of uranium. It could have been anything. It doesn't change the plot, which means that actual object itself is meaningless to the story. And I thought that's what the girl in this character represented. She was the MacGuffin. She was
made it harder to pay attention to the storyline. Like
really, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was like, oh, that's the thing that helps you teleport. What thing? Like, that person. Oh, the person. Oh, okay, cool.
You know who? Even though a good recent Marvel movie where they were able to balance special effects, real world, fun storylines, and all that kind of stuff. I think the Ant-Mans. I mean, if you look how they did that, where the story exists in our universe, and yes, there is some fantastical elements when he takes the Pym particles and he goes super micro and he goes real. Okay, but guess what? That wasn't the entire movie. Doctor Strange 2 was the entire movie was what the Ant-Man was in that time frame where he's shrinking down.
Yeah,
it was that, but for 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah, he was in the multiverse for 2 hours. Yeah,
right.
It was a long.
And that's why I think they need to go back. Like, I think Ant-Man did a really good blend of, man, it was super funny and charming characters. And yes, it was fantastical and you had to suspend disbelief and there was magical things and all that. But it was done in such a way that you at least wanted to believe it, right? This one, I was like, let me guess. This is a magical spell that he's casting that makes this one thing happen. Like, I don't know.
Sorry. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I don't think that necessarily, I don't think they're going to do a reset, but I'm hoping that with the shows like She-Hulk coming out and the new Wakanda Forever and stuff like that, they'll be introducing more somewhat like realistic timeline, like realistic stories. Like She-Hulk is just Bruce Banner fucking around trying to do that again to a woman, like trying to make her into a Hulk, and he figured out how to have the brains and the brawn. That's what she does, and that's the whole premise of the show.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that these are the ones that kind of ground it again. I know what you're saying.
I hope so. So, done with that. I want to get to an SMRT before we finish.
I am too smart. I am too smart. SMRT. I mean SMART.
Okay, I might have you pull video of this once I mention it because there is video that exists. So it's not often, Chris, that our SMRT story involves a celebrity.
Oh shit.
But guess what? It does not involve Florida either. So this is a very unique thing. We got a celebrity SMRT and it's not in Florida. So this is already brand new.
Okay.
The actor James Cromwell, you would know him from Babe. You would know him from the film noir. What's the LA noir movie?
Oh yeah, I know
Crowe.
him. He's in everything. He was in iRobot.
Oh yeah, he's the guy's in everything.
Mile.
He's in the current show Succession, which is on like HBO.
LA Confidential.
He's in Babe. Yeah, LA Confidential. That's what I was thinking of. Anyways, this guy's been acting forever. And by the way, his father is a famous director of film noir movies back in the 50s and stuff. So like Cromwell, like the family has been around. Big thing. Okay. He is a super wacky, like on the verge of being kind of crazy, like environmental activist, right? Like he's the one who like supports like when PETA bombs a building and like, like does weird shit, right? Okay. So he can be a little like crazy. Well, here's an article from the Washington Post from late last week. Babe star James Cromwell super glues his hand to a Starbucks counter. And you think to yourself, so this is a protest. You think to yourself, what could he be protesting where you super glue your own hand to a counter?
Wow.
Well, it's, think about it, Chris. We live in a world where people can't get baby formula for their babies right now. People are catching COVID. You got people who are losing their homes and losing their jobs. There's a lot of things to protest in this world. But what is James Cromwell doing?
Is it a straw? Did he not get a straw?
He says, quote, he is incensed by the senseless upcharge that Starbucks charges for non-dairy milk.
Whoa.
That's his big thing.
Okay.
That's his big thing. He's willing to super glue his hand because Starbucks charges more if you want the fake milk than to put real milk in. But guess why they charge more? Because it costs more. He says they shouldn't charge more and it's discriminatory. Quote,
wow, this is fun.
Yeah, I know, right? It says more than this. I'm trying to find it. Says cows produce milk for the same reasons humans do, to nourish their young. But in the dairy industry, they gave birth to their babies and are taken from them almost immediately, and their milk is sold. This is the equivalent of a Holocaust. We are supporting a cow Holocaust.
Okay, I have a video right here. I want to hear this. See if I can get it to go. Are you working? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Hear you.
I know it's not working. I put play. You're the stupidest website ever, CNN. Let's go to NPR.
So yeah,
that's gnarly, dude. Like he is an idiot.
Well, by the way, you don't. I mean, I don't know. So he super glues his hands to the counter. He winds up getting arrested, and he starts shouting stuff about how it's racist, which I don't know how it's racist.
It's music. Why is it music? Why can't you just play the goddamn?
I know, right? So he claims that it's racist to charge more for milk, fake milk. I don't understand how that's racist, but.
Well, because the color, I'm guessing, it's just one of those things. Like if it's an opposite color than what he wants or something, that's racism, right? Like if you don't like blue, like you're racist.
I guess so. But he was basically saying that did you know Asians have a harder time with lactose, and so therefore they have to order this other thing? It's like, yeah, guess what? Hey, if you're too fat to fit in the coach seat and you have to pay for 2 seats, you don't get that other seat for free, right? You have to pay more because it's your fault, right? Even if it's not your fault, it's your fault. Or let's say you go to a place and it's for gluten-free. Oh, hey, we can make your pizza dough with gluten-free if you have a gluten allergy, but it costs $1 extra. You go, oh, okay. What he's saying is they should be not charging you for that because it's just equality. It's like, but the guy still had to pay more for it.
Yeah,
so how about this?
Yeah.
How about this, Starbucks? If Starbucks should say back to him, great, you're right. We won't we won't charge more for it. In fact, we won't carry it at all. So now you don't even get the option.
Now
because
you
it's
don't
gonna
get to
cost
come
us
here
more.
anymore. Yeah,
Right.
now you get to go to fucking coffee, tea, and bean leaf.
But of all the things that you could protest to get mad about in this world that are really bad right now, the fact that people are paying like, and by the way, I looked it up, the extra charge, because I don't go to Starbucks, so I don't know.
either.
It's, I think, a 35-cent upcharge if you want the fake milk.
You know, if he really wants to start some shit, he should go to McDonald's and fight their upcharge of orange juice. If you buy like a breakfast meal, it comes with coffee or like a fountain drink. If you get an orange juice, it like doubles the price of your meal. It's
How
like
about this?
$4 upcharge.
You want to protest that everyone can get behind? Go glue your hand to the counter at McDonald's and protest that the ice cream machine never works. How about that?
That's what they would first think. They'd be like, oh, ice cream? No, upcharge on orange juice, bitch. That's
But
funny.
I don't know. So let me ask you this. Is there a cause out there that angers you enough to where you would super glue your hand to a counter and get arrested for?
Wow. No, because I don't like people. I don't think I'm that stupid. I do feel passionate about a few things, but I'm not going to go glue anything to anything. That's just like,
I'm going to do the
harsh.
opposite. I'm going to go to Starbucks and glue my hand to the counter and demand that they
beat your
charge
hand.
more.
That's
No,
it.
demand that
Beat
they
your
charge
hand.
more. Like, I think that the milk substitute should cost 10 times as much, motherfuckers. Like, that's what I want to. I want to glue my hand to the table. I want 33 cents. Not good enough. It should be $30 if you can't drink milk because you're a pussy. That's what I'm going to glue my hand to the counter for.
It's not going to be your hand.
It's going to be my penis. It's going to be like, why did I do my penis?
And you're going to be pointing it right at everyone going, look,
Sir,
at it.
put that thing away. I can't. It's glued to the counter. Sir, if you don't put that away, I'm going to be forced to remove you. Don't pull me away from this counter. My penis is attached to the counter.
Here, hand me that really, 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 really small lid. We could just set it right on top and nobody will
Hand me
see
that dainty little napkin. We can cover it like a tent.
it. Oh, you're
Hand me,
a dumbass.
I don't know how to speak Starbucks language. What's a venti? Is that the big one?
Large, I think.
Yeah, what's
I
the
don't know.
smallest cup they got? Like, hand me the cups that you use for espressos, and
I
I
think
will cover everything.
It's confusing because it's like grande or so. Anyway, I don't care. Starbucks can bite me.
Starbucks can bite me, and apparently they can bite James Cromwell because I'm sure they're not a fan of his right now because now people are
Friday the 13th, and I had a little laugh. I'm an idiot. All right. Well, that's about it for us. Go to thisisfunner.com. Check out all the other podcasts. There's some up there about the Beatles and season 2 of Plus One Stories coming soon.
Yeah, man. Really fun show. I like Plus One Stories. And yeah, listen to this. Listen to there are 2 Beatles special episodes on Listen to This. Very excited about those. And season 8 coming in about, let's call it 6 weeks.
Wow. You should probably talk to your producer.
I really should, huh? By the way, I really need to get to, so I need to go on like a hot streak of writing. I think all of this flooding that's happened in my house, I've been sidetracked from all the writing I've been meaning to do. And so this weekend, I'm going to have to really crank some out. But yes.
Your wife's going to go into the garage. You're going to have one thing of drywall up and a whole bunch of stuff written on it.
Yeah. Eric, why does the drywall have the Beatles stuff written on it? It's like, oh, I'm sorry, honey. My mind was.
I got sidetracked.
All right,
Right,
everybody.
man.
Well, thank you very much and for listening. And remember to rate and review and go to thisisfunner.com, maybe even .org. We don't know for sure.
No, that's funnerfoundation.org coming soon.
Okay.
Yeah, have fun putting up drywall, bitch.
All right. Sounds
Talk to you later.
awesome. And oh, by the way, it's going to be like 105 degrees in my garage. So awesome.
Maybe you'll get skinnier.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen either because I'm going to eat 8 pounds of pasta while doing it.
Well, have fun and then go jump in your pool.
All right. Sounds good.
Bye, man.
Bye
Talk to you
everybody.
later. Bye.
Selling your car to Carvana is as easy as...
As easy as pie?
Sure. All you have to do is enter your license plate or VIN.
As easy as a stroll in the park.
Okay, then just answer a few questions and you'll get a real offer in seconds.
As easy as singing.
Why not? Schedule a pickup or drop off and Carvana will pay you that amount right on the spot.
As easy as playing guitar.
Actually, I find that kind of difficult. But selling your car to Carvana is as easy as...
Can be.
Visit Carvana.com or download the app to get an instant offer today.
Well, well, well. Shopping for a car?
Yep, Carvana made financing a car as smooth as can be.
Oh, yeah?
I got pre-qualified instantly and had real terms personalized just for me.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
Well, I got to browse thousands of car options on Carvana, all within my budget.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
It does. I actually wanted a car that seemed out of my range, but I was able to add a cosigner and found my dream car.
It doesn't get much.
Oh, it gets smoother. It's getting delivered tomorrow.
Visit Carvana.com or download the app to get pre-qualified today.